Hi, my name is Christina Nisi Mathis. I'm a local realtor. Welcome to my YouTube channel, a practical go-to space where you can get real estate insights, local market updates, and practical guidance to help you move with confidence.
If you're thinking about moving to Griffin, Georgia, I want you to watch this video before you make any decision. Today, I'm going to give you the real picture, the pros, the cons, and everything in between. My name is Christina Nisi Mathis, and I work with buyers and sellers all over the greater Atlanta area, including right here in Spalding County. So let's get into it. Let's get started with the biggest pro, home prices that actually make sense. So I was recently working with this brand new couple in their early 20s, and they are looking to buy their first home because they did not want to invest in someone else's pockets and pay rent, right? And so right out the box, they are approved for $150,000, and they immediately are terrified because what in the world is $150,000 going to buy me in this market? We went through all of the searches by zip codes and searches by, well, so-and-so told me that over here is a good area, or maybe over here is a good area. And we stumbled across the little old town of Griffin, Georgia. It was so exciting to see what they could afford in Griffin with $150 versus somewhere else with $150,000. And so if you're a first-time home buyer, or you are a brand new investor, you want to catch this pro for real. So as of mid-year this year in 2026, the median home price in Griffin, Georgia is $253,000. Now that is amazing. I have been selling affordability all throughout Henry County, but as we spread out just a little further, we find that other counties have affordability as a pro as well. And Spalding is one of those counties. There are a couple of different ways that you can obtain your first pre-approval. There are different types of loan options that are available. FHA, conventional, USDA. For my veterans out there, your veteran loan is available. And so there are different types, and they all have different stipulations as to who qualifies for them and all of that kind of thing. So most first-time home buyers are able to qualify for FHA loans. Well, Griffin for 2025 closed 32% of Spalding County's FHA loans. That is huge, right? That's huge for your first-time home buyers. That's huge for investors looking to buy and hold in the area. That's huge for investors looking to fix and flip in the area, right? Knowing that these homes should be ready to move in because FHA are looking for homes that are ready to move in, turnkey properties, right? And so Griffin is one of those areas. 32% of all the FHA closings in Spalding County right here in Griffin. Pro number 2 is land, right? We drove through that new construction community where every single home was sitting on 1 acre. And I believe he said the max FHA loan in that area was ending up with a $2,200 a month payment. Well, a 3 or 4 bedroom sitting on 1 acre in McDonough is going to have you in the upper 3s and low 4s and keep on moving up depending on the neighborhood, depending on the builder and the amenities. And so when you can get all of that for $329, $323, upper 200s, then you are really making some serious headway when it comes down to new construction. In Atlanta, $300,000 gets you a townhome, right? On one of those postage stamps, and it's a very beautiful, immaculate townhome, new construction, right? But it's still less land. It's still a very close urban feel. And some people don't want to be in a townhome. Some people want to be in a single family home that does not touch the property next to them. I know my husband is one of those people, he says he does not want to be able to reach out his window and touch his next door neighbor or be able to hear everything that they're talking about in their bedroom, right? And so for different people, there are different fits and feels and what feels like home to them. And so Griffin is one of those areas that if you're working on a tighter budget, you're able to get more home, more land for less. Another thing that's important when it comes down to land is that there's still new construction being built on these acre lots, and you're still able to find patches in Griffin where independent builders are building brand new construction ranch style homes or brand new construction 2-story homes on 3 and 4 acres of land. That is pro number 2, land, land, land. You guys see me looking crazy because y'all know I'm out here on all this land with all these bugs, and if I hear something flying over my head, you might see me disappear out of the camera screen for a second. Pro number 3 is probably the most important to you at this moment, but because these markets fluctuate, I'm going to put it in the middle, right? It's pro number 3 for a reason. And pro number 3 is it is a buyer's market right now. Right now, there's approximately 5.5 months of real estate inventory on the market in Griffin, which means that houses have been sitting, not because anything's wrong with them, right? But houses have been sitting because buyers have been hesitant to buy. And so if you have been saving, and even if you haven't been saving, we might have a trick for that too. But so while I've been helping first-time home buyers close in Griffin, negotiate their rate buy downs, finding closing costs for them, all of the perks of buying in a buyer's market, feel free to click the link below to schedule some time with me to go over your specific situation. Moving on to pro number 4. Pro number 4 is definitely this outdoor lifestyle. So behind me, there are paddle boat rentals. You can fish in this pond. There's no swimming in there. I'm looking down at my notes because I don't have the facts for this park memorized. So High Falls State Park, 1,000 acres, a 650-acre lake, waterfall trails, fishing, definite hiking, docks, boating, camping, and it's literally 20 minutes from Griffin. Actually, it's like 10. If you're jumping on the highway instead of going the back roads and the highway is clear of traffic, it's about 10 minutes away. And so Spalding County has 27 parks, 4 disc golf courses, world-class pickleball complex, and has been featured on ESPN Plus numerous times. We've got reservoirs and lakes and everything out here for kayaking and fishing. And so this is one of those towns that you pick if you love the outdoors, you spend just as much time outside as inside, you love the sound of the water, you love the sound of nature and the occasional lawnmower going. Griffin is definitely that spot for you. My kids, they love sports, they love outdoors, and so this is one of those areas that we can come to on the weekend. It's not too far away. We're not having to sit in the car and drive for long hours just to get out into the open. It's completely pristine and beautiful. That is the outdoor life and open life that you find here in Griffin, Georgia. Pro number 5 is very, very similar. The small town feel, the downtown feel. Everything is growing, but not too much, right? You still have your local grocery store that butchers the meat in the back, and you can get the amazing prices, the farm produce eggs from right down the street where the sign is. Everything is available out here. Real bones. You've got the small boutique shops and everything. Local restaurants. Very, very good local food scene for not being Atlanta, right? Lots of good country cooking out here and a barbecue buffet or two. So yes, definitely. You've got your community events like the Dock Holiday Festival in the fall. And so residents who move here love to say the same thing. The people are friendly, the pace is slower in the best way, lots of room for your animals, and just the feel of community, not suburb. I know that just getting the film and the footage, tracking through Griffin last week, I started seeing the same faces in the same shops, and now I'm known by name, and it's a beautiful feel for those who are looking for community and a space that's not too big, where people begin to know each other and recognize each other by name on site. Griffin is definitely one of those towns. All right, so con number one, that commute to Atlanta is definitely real out here, as real as the cows and the horses. So we are directly 40 miles away from Atlanta, and so that drive in the morning can be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour if there are no major hiccups like weather or accidents or anything like that. And so a lot of people who live here in Griffin either work locally, work remote, or just have figured that the trade of the commute for their lifestyle is definitely worth it, right? If you need to be in the office in Buckhead 5 days a week, you definitely have to take the commute into consideration when you are choosing to move into Griffin. Con number two, the local job market here is definitely limited. So Griffin's main employers here are Caterpillar, Spalding Regional Hospital, and then your school system, right? Griffin Spalding School System. So healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, they make up the bulk of, or the core of, what's available for work in this town. And so if you work in finance, or if you work in tech, or you work in a specialized professional field, you'll be working either mostly remotely or definitely commuting, right? I know a couple of families that I have moved in have worked in surrounding cities like McDonough. Commute isn't too far. A few of them are flight attendants who try to work their days, Monday through Wednesday or Monday through Friday for their trip, so that they're home for most of the week and not commuting back and forth. A couple of them are business owners, and so they don't have to worry about commuting. They make their own schedules. This is a very, very balanced life that you have to have here in Griffin, because again, 40 miles is a long way to commute for work, and so that limits what's available locally. It's not a bad thing, but it's a thing that has to be planned out if your income depends on being in a specific industry. Con number three, I am briefly going to touch on this. I found that when helping home buyers, first-time home buyers with young children just entering the school systems, and then those who are already established but wanting to make sure that they focus and target for college prep and other things, the school systems in Griffin County are completely mixed, right? So on one street, it may not be considered by the family or the person moving in or the person living there to be a good school system. You have to be very, very, very picky when shopping in Griffin, because you have to do all of your research, you have to confirm the schools, and you have to decide what is the best fit for you, right? Griffin Spalding schools are a mixed picture. So there are some that have raving reviews as far as their academics and the sports and things of that nature. There are some that are still working on their reviews. There's a variety of public, private, charter. There's even a University of Georgia Griffin campus here, and that's important, especially for those high school students who do dual enrollment and all of the like. If school district performance ratings are a major decision-making factor for you, I would encourage you to research the individual school scores, look at the charter options available, and then ask about specific neighborhoods, because where you land in Griffin can make the biggest difference in which school your child attends. As far as I know, Griffin Spalding County schools do not have a school choice option the way that I have been promoting in Henry County. And so you have to be mindful about that if that is one of those decision-making factors for where you would choose to purchase your first home. Con number 4, the amenities in Griffin are still catching up. So, quick detour and quick story, right? I'm showing my children around and I practice on them. Before I started having clients, I would take them everywhere and show them houses like they had money, right? Because I wanted to be the absolute best real estate agent ever. And so I'm showing my daughter around and I'm trying to inspire her. She had just finished cosmetology school and I'm showing her what I see as her mom for her life. And we pull into an area and there are these gorgeous townhomes. And right next door, there is a Publix and all of the little shopping area amenities. So there's a wing place and there's a gym and there's a Thai restaurant and there's all these places in walking distance, right? 2 lights down the road, there's a huge shopping center with a Target and all of the different restaurants and all of the things, right? And I'm just like, you know, look, see where I want you to be able to afford. See where your life could be. Your life could be, your work is right here. Your groceries are right here. Your gym is right here. Everything's right here. Griffin is growing, but it hasn't quite caught up just yet. So if you want a neighborhood with a Whole Foods and a walkability score of like an 80, 85, you can, you know, park the car for the weekend and go out for drinks with the honey and all of that. You're going to need to drive to McDonough, Fayetteville, somewhere, anywhere, greater city of Atlanta for all of that. And residents who don't have reliable transportation out here in Griffin can definitely fill the gap. There is no parking rides. There's Lyft, Uber, and your vehicle. And so if your lifestyle revolves around urban conveniences such as public transportation, Griffin might feel like somewhat of an adjustment. Our final con of the day, con number 5, out here is a specific kind of lifestyle. And so this is probably an honest con, right? Griffin is definitely a small town with small town vibes. The pace is a lot slower out here. Entertainment options are a lot more limited than what you would find inside the perimeter or what we call 285, right? So if you love the city and if you love the energy and you want somewhere to go every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, if you plan on shutting the club down, then Griffin is probably not the place that you would enjoy the most, right? The people who love Griffin genuinely love it. They come here for space. They come here for the peace and the tranquility, the land, the cost, and the community feel. Is Griffin, Georgia a good place to live in 2026? Absolutely. If you love this feel behind me, then absolutely. If you're a first-time home buyer and you're priced out and you're only looking at townhomes because you feel like that's the only thing that you have been approved for and can afford, you might want to try exploring out just a little bit and come in and check out Griffin. So inside the city, there is a little more population than out here in the sticks, right? But you can afford so much more out here in the country than you may be able to afford inside of the perimeter. The market is in your favor because there's so much inventory. 5 months is a long time to be trying to sell your home. And so you're going to find sellers who are willing to help with closing costs, willing to negotiate the price of the home, willing to negotiate on what repairs are done. Some homeowners are wise enough to leave the repairs up to you. Like, oh, if you want this or you want that, we've got a budget already made for it. You just come and pick what kind of carpet you want or what kind of flooring you want. You run into it all out here. But if urban amenities, schools, proximity to Atlanta's job markets, if those things are important to you, then I encourage you to click the link below in my description, schedule some time to sit down with me, and we will talk and go through all of your options and find the best fit for you. My name is Christina Nisi Mathis. I service the Atlanta metro area, Griffin, McDonough, Henry County, Spalding County, and beyond. If this video helped you, hit like, hit subscribe, and send it to your best friend, your cousin, your auntie, your grandmother, anybody who is afraid to get pre-approved because they're afraid they're not going to get approved for the amount that will buy them the house they have in their head. I post videos every single week, stomping through these Atlanta suburbs, going over the real estate market, and sharing what it's actually like to buy a home in 2026. I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you for spending time with me today. If this was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who may need it. I'll see you in the next video.